All right, so I'm going to use the end of this video to kind of do like a Q&A. I'm going to go through the comments and read off a couple questions. I think Plastic Fork 24 asked what was my idle speed set to with my choppy idle, and I've got my idle tuned pretty choppy right now. So I want to go ahead and show you what my idle RPM is. That was the question, is what my idle speed. I'm going to come in here. I'm at HPtuners right now. Let me see. These are my idle settings. So let's see. In park and neutral, 750, and gear it drops down to 650. So 750 in neutral and park, and then when I put it in gear, it drops down 100 RPMs, and this is in gear at 650. I had to drop down the in gear because it's on the stock converter, and it's kind of like trying to push through the stock converter. If you had something looser, like a 26, 28, or 32 saw, it's a little looser, and it's not wanting to like push through the converter, if that makes sense. It idles more freely. Like when you go from like park to drive, like you hardly notice the difference when you have a looser converter. So anyways, yeah, those are my RPM settings as of right now. I'm always kind of making tweaks, but as of right now, 750 in park, 650 in drive. All right, let me go to the next question. Okay, Juan Valdez says, how does this cam compare to a like TSV 228R cam? And all I'm going to say is they put a ton of research and development into this cam. It basically makes more low and mid-range power and torque than any cam out there, honestly. Basically, the brand Tooley truck cams were like the best thing to come out for the trucks, because trucks, they don't need super high lift and big durations. Like I've been trying to say in my other videos, they need a broad, flat torque curve. They need under the peak power to get their big butts up and moving. You know, if you got a Camaro vet, they can afford to give up some of the bottom end, so they got crazy durations, super high lift, really peaky power curves, because they don't really necessarily need all the low end grunt to get up and go. But if you're in a heavy vehicle, heavy truck or SUV, you're going to need that, and that's why this cam is so awesome. It provides all that low end power and torque you need. So how does it compare? I would bet money that the truck Norris Cam makes more power, probably all the way out to, I would say, 5,000 RPM, and then the 228R would probably start to squeak past, maybe get you an extra 10, 15, 20 horsepower at like 6,000 RPM. But anywhere below that, I would, like I said, I would bet my own money that the truck Norris Cam outshines it. Everywhere below, probably 5,500, honestly. All right, next question. All right, Rory Simpson says he wants to see what this truck runs with the Dragy, and that's what I just posted, was the results of the Dragy before and after. Unfortunately, the before, it is tuned. It's not completely stock. I did lean it out a tad and add some timing, and with that, ran a 15.9 at 87. And with the cam and some more tuning to adjust for the cam, I went from a 15.9 at 87 to a 15.5 at 90, about 94 or 95. I think it was about 95. It went from 87 to 95, so I picked up like almost around 8 miles an hour and about half a second in the quarter. I picked up a half a second in the 0 to 62. I'm sorry, I just saw the information, so I'm gonna have to go back and watch it because I don't have it like memorized just yet. But I think it was half a second 0 to 60 and half a second in the quarter mile, and about 7 or 8 miles an hour in the full quarter mile that it picked up. Anyways, that's a really big jump for being cam only, stock exhaust manifold, stock air intake system, stock converter, stock gear, like everything's stock. All I did was chop off the muffler and put on a Flowmaster, which some say even hurts performance. I'm fixing to swap that out for a MagnaFlow. But yeah, okay, next question. Okay, so the next question is going to be from Caleb Crispin. He says he's going to be putting this cam in a 2010 Silverado, and if there's any way that you can make the choppy settings I have only in idle and not in drive. And I did go over this in another video. Like I have a whole video that was dedicated to like making a mild cam sound like a large cam. Basically all I'm doing is it's the idle spark control settings. So it is only an idle setting. As soon as you tap it, give it a little bit of gas, or the truck thinks you're in anything but neutral, basically like if you give it gas or you're moving at even like 1 mile an hour, it gets out of these tables. It is only an idle setting. So I was playing with the idle adapters, right? So you have your your underspeed, which will add timing, and your overspeed, which will take away timing. And right now I'm like at plus 15 and negative 15 degrees. And by playing with these over and under spark tables, you can kind of make the idle chop and go up and down, and it starts to rock the truck and sounds all super aggressive. It's not for everybody. It's not, you know, it's kind of one of those opinion type things. Not everyone likes it. I personally like it to a certain extent. It can be a little bit too much, especially like when I'm at a red light and I'm literally there just like just shaking my whole body. My mirrors are moving, my antenna is shaking, and I'm just sitting there rocking, and everyone's looking at me all crazy. To a certain point, it is a little ridiculous, kind of. Anyways, that was kind of a long-winded answer, but the short story is it is only an idle setting because it's an idle adaptive spark control that I'm messing with, and I'll link that video right here. Okay, and the next one, it's not really a question. It was more of a statement from Jax Topher, I think it is. He says, it seems a 25 to 3,000 stall to be perfect in this situation. And yeah, that's completely true. Basically, what I like to tell people is as long as your torque converter speed, or, you know, flash point doesn't exceed your peak torque production, it's going to help you. A converter will even help a bone stock factory truck. Converters help in any situation, just about, unless you have like crazy, you know, low end boost from like a Roots blower that makes like instant power off the line. You know, like your CTSV guys, some blower guys, they might not necessarily need a converter to get up and go because it's all freaking boost right off the line. There's some scenarios where a converter might not help because you're actually passing up where you're making all the torque. So in this case, if I remember correctly, it was making peak torque at like 3,000 RPMs, and then with the cam, it's a really flat and broad torque curve. That's what I was trying to say. I think peak production was around 3,800 now with the truck Norris Cam. I want to say it was, now I'm up to 364 foot-pounds. That's flywheel. You got to deduct like 20% with the drivetrain loss. Anyways, yes, it would benefits. I could probably throw in a 3,200 stall and it would help a ton. That, not to say that it does make low end power. I keep like, I swear, I'm like all about this truck Norris Cam because like I've cammed a truck before and I couldn't even spin the tires. It was embarrassing with a stock converter. But with this cam, it actually picked up off idle power. Like I can blow the tires off now. I can power brake it. It's got balls now. That's why I really like this cam. I'm all about it. It's my favorite cam that I've ever installed in a personal vehicle, and I've cammed a lot of stuff. So yeah, a converter would benefits. But the thing is, I don't want to do a converter just yet because I'm gonna freaking pro charge this truck like in a week or two. It's a 4060 with like 230,000 miles. I know it doesn't have a long life ahead of it. I know it's just time is I'm on borrowed time for this transmission. It's gonna go out sooner or later. So I don't know if I'm gonna do a 4080 swap. I do have a turbo 400 that I was gonna swap into my LS swapped IS300, but this Silverado seems to be doing better for YouTube than my IS300 was, even though it was freaking twin turboed with turbos hanging out of the hood. People would rather see this truck than that. So I might actually put the turbo 400 on the Silverado if it gets to that point. I don't know how far this truck's gonna go, honestly. I just got into it, and that's another thing. A lot of people are saying I should do this, I gotta do that, I should have done, like, I literally just got this truck, guys. Like, I got this truck and ordered the cam the night I got this truck. Okay, the first thing I did was tune it and order the cam, and this is like the first thing, because the cam was almost like an afterthought because the oil pressure was a little low. It's got a ton of miles, like 250,000 miles. It was like 40 psi on a hot start, and like maybe it would drop to like 25 when it was hot. So I did a melling while I was in there doing the cam and valve springs and all that. I did a melling high, I don't know if it's like high volume, high pressure, or both. It's a high pressure oil pump, and now it's like 60 psi on a cold start. It probably is like 45 hot, and when I floor it, that sucker pegs out like 80 psi. It's got all the oil pressure now. So that's really what was my main concern, is getting in there, doing the oil pump, and then might as well do the cam, valve springs. You know, that's kind of a snowballs. You might as well do this, might as well do that. But for the time being, I did the oil pump, cam, valve springs, tune, and this is the results of that so far. Anyways, I think that's enough talking for one video. Any more questions, comment below. I'll try and add them to the end of another video if this does good. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Later.